I love this Proxy. It can handle some torque. Oh, every year the OTB Open delivers some of the best new MVP releases of the year, and 2026 is shaping up to be no exception, because on March 18th we're getting Wave 1, and it consists of some heaters, including the Silva Plasma Soft Proxy. I'm a huge Proxy fan, so I'm really excited to check this one out. I love the lilac flight plate with like the seafoam rim. This one looks really cool. And we have the Big Jerm Cosmic Neutron Tempo. Tempo is a nice overstable approach disc. I'm curious if the Cosmic Neutron makes this more overstable than other runs of Tempo. We'll find out. And then we have the Prism Proton Insanity. These ones are kind of unique though, because they max out at 159 grams. So they're all really lightweight. They're also soft proton, so very flexible, very light. Should be hyzer flip machines. And finally, the Fission Delirium. This is a really overstable distance driver. It's fission plastic, which tends to make this a little more flippy, though I will say these are all 170 to 175 grams, which is kind of unique for fission. So curious to see how these shape up. So we got 4 new releases. We're gonna be throwing them all over the course today, see how they fly, see how they compare to a couple other runs of these discs. Let me know down below in the comments which one of these 4 you are most excited to get your hands on. For me, definitely the Proxy is the one I'm looking forward to throwing the most. So that means it's time to start throwing. All right, we're starting on a nice short par 3 uphill, 160 feet. You can see the basket right in the middle of the fairway. 1 guardian tree on the left to miss. Should be great for the Proxy, which is a very, very straight throwing putter. I've been throwing Proxies for a long time. Really happy to add a new, beautiful, aesthetic one to the collection. Ooh, that's so straight. And yeah, that's gonna be inside circle 1, probably like 15 feet from the basket. Now, Silva also released a soft particle proton Proxy last year, which were straight with just a tick of overstability at the end of the flight, but also a very straight flyer. Let's see how it compares. Put that one out a little bit further right, but super similar flight. Straight, just a little bit of checkup at the end. Silva must like these soft plastics because she keeps coming out with all sorts of soft discs, which not usually my forte, but I like how these ones, they're soft, but they still have good structural integrity to the disc. They're not just like super floppy. And we love to start off an early morning film sesh with the double birdie. This is literally the perfect Proxy hole. Like if I'm inside of 200 feet and it's relatively straight, Proxy is 100% my go-to. And then we go from the easiest hole on the course to one of the hardest, 434 foot par 4, but it's way off to the right and you have to hit a very tight gap off of the tee. We're gonna try a couple shots here. We're gonna start with our Prism Proton Soft Insanity. I'm gonna try to put this out relatively flat with the expectation that it's gonna turn the whole flight, but not just be a roller. That might be a mistake because it might just be a roller, but we'll find out. Oh no, nice turn. Beautiful turn. Didn't throw with a lot of power, and we see a fade out at the end. That really surprised me. I kind of babied it with the expectation that it was gonna be just stupid understable, because honestly, there's even some max weight Insanities that I've thrown that are pretty darn understable, but that one's got, it's got a nice flight to it. I like the fact that it's not just crazy understable. Now we got the Delirium. These are 14.5 speeds, so the rim on these are enormous, which I'm not the biggest fan of. We're gonna try it on the forehand, see what happens. Okay, it's got a little bit of turn, but it's coming back. Oh, and we got a nice skip. Caught up in the tree though. Put that out further to the left, but wasn't super overstable just from that first throw. To be candid, even though I own nearly every MVP disc, I've never thrown a Delirium. A lot of the times when I see these like super wide rimmed, overstable distance drivers, I just say, no thank you. That's not for me. But first throw with that gives me a little bit of hope. Might not be quite as beefy as I was expecting. Insanity kind of left us in a weird spot here. We got a low ceiling, very straight gap we have to hit here, so should be good for the Proxy. Just holding the line. Oh, we smack the tree. That's tragic. All right, it's time to bust out Big Jerm here. Still a little bit of hyzer, We hit the same tree. That is absolutely tragic. But you know what? That just means it was fate to hit that tree. All right, redemption time for our putters. I think it's like a little bit under 200 feet probably, right around 200. But it's a little bit off to the right. There's a gap between the two trees. Should be especially good for the Proxy. It's just so straight. I thought we'd get a little bit more turn out of it, but that's perfectly fine. I mean, that's a 20-footer from the basket. But I thought it was gonna turn, but it didn't. Just put it out flat, stayed straight. Now let's go. Big Jerm tempo. Probably gonna have to put this on a little bit of Anheuser to see that drift to the right. Oh, it came out kind of early. Okay, that's gonna be right next to our Proxy, kinda. All right, so our closest shot here was the Proxy, but the tempo is only, what, like 3 feet away from the Proxy here. I do feel like that tempo is a little bit more overstable than last year's Big Jerm tempo, which we will do some comparisons because I brought it today. But that's pretty typical. Cosmic Neutron plastic tends to be more overstable. I know that's something that MVP has talked about trying to diminish, or they at least want to make the plastics a little more consistent as far as stability. All right, let's see if we can do a little hyzer flip on this 315-foot par 3 with the Insanity. You have to watch out for these guardian trees on the right, so you kind of have to hang out left and have it just drift to the right a little bit, but it's mostly a straight shot. Do have to keep it low because there is a low ceiling near the basket. And this is officially a sweatshirt off affair, which means we're getting serious. We're ready to throw some legit shots here. Oh yeah, oh, it's going to the right. We love it. It's coming back a little bit at the end. I'm so surprised it comes back. That probably leaves us with like a 15-footer. Love that shot, love that flight. Like a little bit of hyzer, flips up, it drifts to the right, but still has the integrity to come back at the end. And this is 157 gram Insanity. This is surprising me so much. Let's try the Delirium. Probably way too overstable. Probably gonna end up way to the left with a skip. But if we put it out flat, I'm just curious what the flight is gonna be. Oh wait, it's got some turn. Okay, I put that out on a little bit of hyzer. I mean, we're way to the left, but I was surprised to see it turn. Should have put that out flatter. That was a misrelease on my part, but that flight is surprising me because when I see turn on a disc like this, that means this might be a bomber. And that Delirium, I need to throw it out in the open, like just in a field, to really get a gauge on the stability, but it's not a meat hook. So, I mean, that is a great sign because I was worried it would be a meat hook. Oh gosh, that was bad because of the fact that it is max weight. When one Proxy doesn't go in, just throw a second Proxy. That's the ticket. And this hole's in the straight right position, 255 feet downhill, which means we're going back to our putters, starting with the Proxy. Also, if any of these discs interest you, like I said, they come out on March 18th online globally. You can find them at this channel's sponsor, Disc Golf Deals USA. You can pre-order them there, or you can just wait till they come out, buy them there using my affiliate link in the description below to get 10% off your entire order. They sent me these discs. These discs are awesome so far. I'm excited to keep throwing them. Oh, we got a big gust of wind come through there. That is a bummer. It's about like 10-mile-an-hour wind today, but the discs have been doing surprisingly well in the wind. This is more of like a crosswind left to right, which I think pushed it a little bit to the right. Should work out for our tempos because we got this year's tempo and last year's Big Jerm Particle Proton tempo. Let's compare them, starting with Cosmic Neutron. Hold straight for so long. Yeah, I mean, that was just straight the entire flight. That was actually awesome. That should put us within like 20 feet of the basket, which is what I expected from this disc. I thought that one might check up a little bit. This one I feel like is just a little bit straighter. Well, I put that one on more hyzer, but you can see it doesn't have a big fade even with the hyzer. That probably landed on top of the first disc. Maybe I might have skipped a little bit past it, but those are both inside circle one. Those are great. So yeah, these two tempos literally landed, I mean, about a foot from one another. So they are similar, but I also threw them a little bit differently. Whereas that last year's Big Jerm tempo, I put that one out on a little bit more hyzer. So I truly feel like last year's is more neutral and This year's has a little bit more overstability, but they're similar enough where a lot of people probably aren't gonna need to bag both. It just kind of depends. But if you're a big tempo fan, I like this one. I like this one a lot. All right, 215-foot par 3. Basket straight ahead, but we do have a pond to contend with. Got to throw over the water here. With the wind, I'm a little bit afraid that it's going to push us into the water, which, you know, I haven't filmed my thumbnail yet, which means we almost certainly will lose these discs because that's just how these things go, sadly. But we're going to give it the old college try here, starting with the Proxy. I love this Proxy. It can handle some torque. Oh, we bounced off the basket. No. Oh my gosh. You can throw this thing hard. This one will stand up to some power, which I love about it. This Proxy's going in the bag. It is. I mean, I already own like 8 Proxies, so not really a huge surprise there. Oh, that was so close to going in. Dang it. Well, maybe we can make the correction with the big Jerm here. Should do better in the headwind as well. Oh, I love it. Go in. No, it's way too high. It's way too high. Right shape though, and again, inside circle 1, that's probably a 15-footer. You love to see a Proxy doing Proxy things. All right, we got to give the Delirium a fair shake here because I've only thrown it on holes that don't really make sense for the Delirium, but that all ends with this hole, 405-foot par 3. It's just kind of a hyzer. We do have a headwind, which I don't love. We're gonna try to wait for this to chill out a little bit before we throw. Quick aside about the profiles of the discs, Proxy and Tempo super flat, board flat, love it, which is how I prefer my putters and my mids. Delirium has just a little bit of a dome, a little bit of a pop top, but it's not like super domey. I guess it's domey for an MVP driver, which sometimes aren't domey. And then Insanity also super flat, which Insanities tend to be pretty flat. All right, let's throw this thing. See, look at that flip up. Oh, it's flipping so much, and the headwind is not strong right now. Great shot. I mean, that is, you know, that's probably like a 380 pull. I would probably put the numbers at like, you know, it's 14.5 speed. Maybe like a -2.2 for a turn fade. All right, I'm trying to hit right around the T sign here. It seems like it's about 370-ish. And I threw this on hyzer. I'll have to run the film back on, you know, just to see how much angle I put on it. But this definitely started on hyzer. So the fact that it flipped up and came back a little bit at the end, I really like that flight for a distance driver. Proxy, absolutely love it. Super straight, super torque resistant. Feel like I can throw it really hard and not have to worry about it getting a lot of turn. It is pretty flexible, but I like the feeling better than last year's. Last year's, which was the particle Proton, I almost felt was a little like lumpy, kind of, it was so soft. This one has a little bit better structural integrity, in my opinion. So even though you can kind of dig your thumb in there, and even though I don't love super flexible discs, this gets the job done. I like it. Tempo, probably just a tick more overstable than other runs of Tempo that I've thrown. Really like it, you know, big Jerm fan, so that's great. Delirium, I like this so much. I didn't think I would, but it's great. I love the swirly rim. This thing's a bomber. Yeah, if you throw around 400 feet, I think you'll really like this for your max distance line. But if you have a ton of power, then this probably is gonna be pretty flippy for you. Insanity, it's great. You know, they're flexible, they're lightweight. This one I probably wouldn't bag because it just kind of flies like a normal Insanity, even though it's really lightweight. So it's a good option if you like lightweight discs. If you're someone who doesn't throw with a ton of power and you want to maximize distance, then this would probably be a good pick for you. So again, let me know what your favorite is down below in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, I'd appreciate if you consider liking and subscribing. We're almost at 4,000 subscribers, which is awesome. So if you haven't subscribed yet, join the Flying Fajita family today. Why not? You can also follow me on Instagram at Flying Fajita Disc Golf or UDisc Community at Flying Fajita. As always, guys, I love you. Take care. I'll see you next time.